Welcome. You're about to listen to Sad Panda Presents, a podcast about philosophical topics and how those topics work into everyday life and video games. Full disclosure, there will be adult language and topics, so people of a sensitive constitution may not be too impressed. Enjoy!
Hi, how was everybody's day? I'm Shane. I know nothing about anything, and I want to talk about nothing and no one, or nothing and somebody, more specifically. Who are you?
I'm Andrew, and I want to have these discussions with Shane. So that's what we're going to do.
We're kind of feeling this out, so we don't really have a true understanding of what the goal is here, but we're just gonna have a conversation about, well, a topic that I feel like is a dead conversation, and that's philosophy. I feel like philosophy itself isn't talked about a lot, but it happens more than people. I feel like it's a scary term because people do it all the time. Like, it's in general debate, but we don't discuss the ideas as often.
Well, we don't necessarily always call out or acknowledge, I guess is the word I'm looking for, the fact that we're talking philosophically.
Exactly. It's something that we do all the time, that people do more than they realize they do, but I want to bring it to kind of a nerdy ass way. Bring up the ideas of philosophy in the most nerdy way that we can.
Okay.
Without it being nerdy.
Oh, well. So, it's going to be...
With that, I guess with that bullshit being said, our topic today is going to be about the hero's journey. And this was an idea introduced by a man named Joseph Campbell. And Joseph Campbell was a really, really interesting person. He was born in 1904 and then died in 1987. And in his life, he even says that he was fascinated with the idea of mythology, just mythology in general, more specifically with Indian, like Native American mythology. So he spent his life researching just the stories of the Native Americans and understanding their mythology and why, they did this. Why would they do the rain dance or whatever it may be. But in his studies of Native American mythology, he kind of realized that all mythology, whether it be Native American, Indian, Christian, Roman, Greek, all of them kind of had similar ties with just the idea of their stories.
Right.
And so in 1949, I think that's right. 49 sounds right. He wrote this book named The Hero with a Thousand Faces. And in that book, he broke down every mythological story into this theory called the hero's journey.
Right.
And that's kind of what we're going to discuss today, is the hero's journey. Is that basically every movie, video game, story, everything, every hero has this journey, and these steps that the hero takes, is going to follow this kind of plot line and it's not exactly dynamic. It can be, stages can be flipped or flopped or reused again more than once. But this is straight up how every hero plans his journey. Yeah, it's the journey of the hero. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And before we get on to Joseph Campbell, I have to mention a man named Carl Jung.
Okay.
And Jung was the father of analytic psychology. And he was basically he was the direct influence of Joseph Campbell. And we're going to get a little bit into Carl Jung, but not a lot, because he's got other theories and stuff. But we'll get into oh God, what did he write? He wrote the archetypes of the family, of the story, and the animal. And we'll talk about a little bit of what he said there, but for the most part, this is all just Joseph Campbell stuff.
Okay.
So with that, Andrew, when I say the hero's journey, what comes to your mind? Like, what do you think?
Well, I mean, the general concept of a hero having a defining moment and something that determines their role as the hero, and some kind of trials and tribulation to accomplish some goal that's greater than others. A substantial history-changing goal or something like that. Where they change the fate of the world or what have you. With the video game thing connection, I suppose, with games like Zelda, and how Link is told, hey, shit's gonna go down and you gotta be the hero of Hyrule and save everything from the impending doom that is the whatever it is that you're trying to overcome. In the case of Zelda, Ganon and power taking over the rest of the Triforce and all that jazz.
Okay. Are there any other heroes that you can think of that might fit this dynamic?
Yeah. Read a book or watch a movie or play any other video game. I mean, you've got
for sure
the Mega Mans and Forrest Gumps and all kinds of stuff.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I was more like, I thought you would go with Lord of the Rings, but I was going to make a counter argument that Frodo is the one pressed with the ring, but the real hero of that story is Sam. I'd always be a Sam. But we'll get into that as we explain the actual hero's journey. So anyway, moving on.
Did you bring that up specifically to
tell
me how I'm nothing without you?
I was trying to get you into a web and you didn't fucking feel it out. Like I was waiting to trap you, dog.
Yeah. No, I am nothing. Without my Sam.
Like a Venus flytrap, and I was hoping you'd land on my sweet nectar, and I could trap you, but you didn't. But you didn't.
I do like that sweet nectar.
Oh, that sweet nectar. All right. So, okay. So moving on to the actual hero's journey. It's basically in 3 stages, and the first stage is the separation or departure stage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the stage, so I guess you would call this subsection 1 of that separation is, well, the beginning of the journey. It's the call to adventure.
Right.
It's, it's in this stage, you have to be able to create a bond with the character in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so this character is usually in like a mundane situation, and he's working the farm or whatever the fuck, and he's doing stupid shit, and and there's got to be a challenge or request that triggers this desire for him to do that. It could be like a woman, or to recover like a lost item, or to defeat an evil,
or a farm.
All needs to, huh?
What if the call to action is the farm? Sorry, go on.
Well, maybe to save the farm, like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like,
sorry, I was intentionally trying to fuck with you.
Yeah, you're trying to derail me like an asshole. It's fine. I guess if you're playing what's it?
Stardew Valley.
Huh? You're playing like Harvest Moon or some bullshit. Yeah, I guess. You're fucking
farming simulator.
Yeah, or what's that one with the fucking Tom Nook and all that shit?
I don't know.
Just edit all this bullshit out.
Okay.
Anyway.
Go on.
What?
Nothing. Keep going.
Anyway, there's got to be a thing. So basically, there has to be a first cause. There has to be a reason for this person to go do something, to get off his ass and go do a thing. So, woman recover lost item. So like, in like, man, what was that? Damn it! That was that awesome movie, Little Trouble in Big China.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, dude gets, the girl gets captured. The green-eyed white girl gets captured. Or the green-eyed Asian girl captured. Why did I say it like that? Holy shit! I am still asleep. So they get captured, and he has to go save her. Or like in Zelda, in like Ocarina, what happens? Oh, the Deku tree gets all messed up, and they're like, "Hey, go check that out. It's weird." Or Star Wars, the help me Obi-Wan Kenobi, like Luke finds the
droid, R2-D2.
The droid, the R2-D2 and C-3PO.
Yeah.
And he has to do something about it. So after there is a call, and the second stage is the refusal of the call.
Okay.
So the hero, they say no. They have to hesitate because of, reluctance of leaving the everyday. So, what reasons can you think of that he's going to refuse? Like, if I said, "Hey, Andrew, go find the sword of Zetatatata," and yep, that's what I said. Those were the words that came out of my mouth. What reason would you, refuse it? Like, just stop doing what you're doing and go find this thing.
Well, I have a life, you know what I mean? So, I mean, it's not the best life, but it's certainly something I enjoy. That makes sense.
Exactly.
Family, friends, work, all of the above, whatever.
Yeah. It's scary to leave your normal life. It's because of reluctance of leaving the everyday. It's whatever. I mean, I got a shitty life, but but I like my life, and I don't want to give that up. because I have, plans, responsibilities, and all that kind of stuff. So they're gonna refuse. Like normally, they're gonna refuse it. So like in Star Wars, Luke's like, I can't leave the farm. It's the crop season or whatever. I don't remember what he.
Well, I mean,
moist harvesting or.
To be fair, in that situation, it was more his family asking him not to go yet.
Yeah, because they got to do the crops and all that stuff. Well, like in Lord of the Rings, Frodo didn't want to fucking. He's like, fuck this. Like, I don't want to do that shit. Like.
Yeah. In that case, for sure, he's like, get out of my house.
Or Bilbo's straight up. Well, Bilbo in the Hobbit's like straight up, get the fuck out of my house. Like, all these crazy fucking dwarves, fuck you, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Or like Neo in The Matrix, he's like,
nope.
I don't want to follow the White Rabbit. Like, this is weird,
I just want to get high and chill. Like that's.
And not do all that. Like I'm chilling. I'm doing me, and it's fine. But essentially, basically, what's going to happen is that the hero is going to give in to the call to action. They're going to be convinced by somebody, or some event's going to happen, or something's going to happen to the fact that where they will say, you know what, I'm going to do it. So, like, Vader killing all of Luke's family. And he wants his vengeance. Whether it be, it could be vengeance or just pure curiosity, whatever it may be, that they're going to give in.
Right.
And was it the blue pill in the Matrix or the red pill? I don't remember. I don't know. There's a red and a blue. I don't remember what happened.
Yeah. It's one of them.
Hold on. Okay. So, we move on to stage number 3. That is supernatural aid. Help is given to make them wiser or stronger. Sometimes an item will be granted to the hero to help them along their way. It might be a map, information, weapons, a talisman,
fucking lightsaber.
Something, a fucking lightsaber, the idea of the existence of the Force, maybe a master sword. But it will all be given from this kind of mentor.
Yeah.
Basically, an ally or a party will usually join the hero at this point. So, like, this is the scene of Lord of the Rings where they all get to Rivendell and everybody is like, I'm in, and like you've got my sword, you've got my one does not you
have my dick,
sword, you have my hammer, like all that kind of shit.
The hammer.
The hammer is my penis. Damn. So I'm thinking in Ocarina of Time, that's kind of where Na'vi shows up, and like where the old tree is talking to Link, as child Link, and he says, "Hey, I'm infected with the thing. There's this land called there's this land called Hyrule, blah 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 blah. I'm going to give you some information to help you along your way." And then Na'vi, as a party or ally, shows up to, inform you on things, and then later annoy the fuck out of you with, "Hey, listen!"
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, Na'vi is there from the beginning. Like, that's how you wake up in the world. It's this stupid little fairy going, hey, wake up. We got shit to do.
Oh, right. So she might even be in the call, but I feel like she is granted authority in this point.
Well, she's the gopher. Like, she fetches Link and brings him to the DQ tree, and he says, hey, shit's fucked up, yo. Like, we need to save the world now. And you're the chosen one. And, Navi she's a fairy, so she's got the spirit of the forest, and she'll help you out. And, here's your new sidekick, kind of. Ish.
Well, I feel like all of these three, all of these three things happen so quickly that they might kind of blend together.
Right.
But all of these things happen, right? So she is a supernatural aide who gives him the call to adventure, and he doesn't really have much of a refusal except to, go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Bitch, get the fuck out of here. Swat her like a mosquito.
Yeah, but I mean, then he learns about the Triforce and all that, and how he's a part of it, and he has to defeat the monster inside the tree and all that nonsense.
Yeah. And so all this happens kind of back to back to back to back. Or like in, Supernatural. Like in Star Wars, like that's Obi-Wan. He just shows up. He's like, hey, this is what's happening. I
need you to come with me, and we're gonna save this princess.
We're gonna get the fuck out of here and go defeat the dark side and all that shit. Or maybe, or like in King Arthur, it would be like Merlin,
right?
Who, I'm trying to think of every thing I can think of.
In Forrest Gump, it's Bubba.
You think it'd be Bubba? It's Bubba. It's Bubba. It's always Bubba. No, the answer is always Bubba. The answer is always Bubba. Because he knows more about shrimp than any fucking body else. And, a man that knows, 100 ways to cook shrimp, fuck me. That's supernatural in itself. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's supernatural. It really is. So, after the supernatural aid of, you've got your crazy map, or you've got your talisman, or you've got your whatever it may be, move on to crossing the first threshold.
Right.
And this is the point where of no return. This is where the hero is into it.
Yeah.
And so this is very, this is really, really symbolic. It indicates the commitment and change. It leaves behind the old and accepting the new.
Okay.
It's the first active, it's the first decision of this person as trying to become a new person, and it shows responsibility and independence. So this is we're doing this. It's Link walking into the fucking tree's mouth.
Yeah.
It's picking up the sword. It's I don't know, what examples can you think of? Where it's what examples can you think of?
It's leaving the village in the first place for the Hobbit. It's because that's where he's only place he's ever known. It's I guess in most of your space shears, it's getting on the plane. It's getting on the spaceship in the first place, to go. But once you blast off, you're fucking going to outer space to fight these aliens or whatever.
Yeah, Ender's going to space camp.
Right.
This is the point where this is happening. But the thing is, before these heroes go on, excuse me, before this goes on, these are often guarded by, some kind of difficulty or barrier. There's usually somebody saying no, don't go, it's too dangerous.
Or
no,
you're not
stop.
capable.
Or this is crazy, don't do that. And, the hero himself has to, I feel more often than not, they're kind of brushed off. So, what I'm thinking about is maybe, just, it might be a person, it might be a hesitation that gets brushed off. Like Samwise thinking of, oh God, what was her name? The bartender and he's like, oh shit, I might never see her, and I'm in too deep now. wait.
Right.
Like, well, I'm doing this, and if I never see her, I never see her, but I'm doing this. But so that's the. That
it's
is
a barrier to entry. It's a test of some sort, or
it's a minor test, but
it's like a moral test, basically.
You
or
could
a test
say,
of maybe not morality, but will, or
yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a test of will. That it's a sloughing off of. All right, I'm dedicated, and we're doing this now.
Right.
And it's a point of total commitment, and that's what's going to happen. All right, so which brings us into the last part of the first stage, and that is entering the belly of the whale. So now, the hero is going to enter a zone of danger. This may start immediately after the first threshold, or might need some travel. But this is the idea of moving from the normal world you're used to into a whole new element. This is this is Dante going into hell.
Right.
This is
Link literally going into the belly of a whale.
Literally going into the belly of a whale, like Jonah. The Jabba, right? Jabba's belly, yeah. He's literally going to get in. He's going to get all in that Jabba guts.
Yeah,
he's going
get
to
in
be
the
in
guts.
there. He's going to get in the guts. Big. So this, I don't know how to say it more plain than that. But the idea that Joseph Campbell had was that you're literally going into a new world.
Right.
A whole new world. A new fantastic world. No one to tell us no or where to go. Because now I'm in a whole new world with you.
Yeah.
But, yeah. All up in them guts. So basically, Joseph Campbell said that the hero is going to actually leave into a different world altogether.
Right.
So this is, he's leaving the farm. You can't, and I think the best way to really see that, like visually and is the best way to see that is actually in the Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
So, Dorothy was in Kansas, and then the cyclone, or tornado.
Yeah.
They call them cyclones in the movie. I don't know, it's weird. Twist. There's a big cow that flied by, and there was another cow. It might have been the same cow that flew by.
Them cows are dead, yo. You ain't falling from the height like that.
No,
and
that was an actual quote from the movie Twister, sir. Sir, get your shit, sir. Get your shit together, sir. But this is now. She literally lands in a whole new world and opens the door, and it's in color. It goes from a black and white movie to in color, and that's I think the most brilliant visual representation of entering a new world, which is exactly what Campbell's talking about. Like, boom, house lands, kills that stupid witch. Her shit curls up and it opens the door, and it went from black and white. Bam, we're now in color. This is a whole different animal. This is a whole new world of strange and weird things, and tiny munchkins show up and start singing. It freaks you the fuck out.
Light now in Technicolor.
Yeah, exactly. So with that, we're going into another spectrum of the other world, the scary world. So this moves us into stage 2, called initiation. which Campbell called Initiation. And in that begins the first subsection called the Road of Trials. So this is going to be a long journey. Each trial is new and different, but after beating each trial, the hero then becomes more capable and confident in his capability.
Yeah, you got to get power-ups, yo.
Yeah, for sure. Every little mini boss, you're gonna get the boomerang. You're gonna get the hook shot. You're gonna get
extra heart containers, all that shit.
All that kind of stuff. So this is like the meat of video games or whatever.
Yeah.
You're gonna get E-Tanks in Mega Man. You're gonna get whatever it may be.
Right.
You're gonna get
the meat and potatoes of your RPG story, action adventure, all that stuff. It's the good parts, the good stuff, if you will.
It's the grinding, if you will.
It's the Bruce Lee going up floor to floor to floor to floor to floor before he gets
until you get to pretty much the boss. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. So he does mention that there are two types of battles. There is a brother battle and a dragon battle. So
scrubs and bosses.
Negative. Not scrubs and bosses. It's a brother battle is going to be against a familiar foe. So like somebody you knew who is who happened to turn to the dark side, like, or I can't think of any examples, but basically somebody you knew in the past world that is you now have to challenge or fight or whatever.
Spike and Vicious.
Spike and Vicious, absolutely. Well, he's the end game, but yeah, Spike and Vicious for sure. Absolutely, that's really good.
They encounter each other on multiple occasions. I mean,
true.
Yeah, he does end up being the end game fight,
the big bad,
as well, but you get a sense that before, in some time frame before the anime opens, they had smaller battles. Like they've had a rivalry, and this has been a thing that's been going on for a long time. Like since they were much younger.
Yeah, there was a theme that they were in competition. Now they literally are in competition.
Right.
So basically, the hero is going to have to, this is a fight against something opposed of his character, like the anathema of himself.
Right.
So he's going to have to deal with that in a whatever brother battle, if you will, like Link and Dark Link.
Right.
Exactly. So, and then there's a dragon battle, and there's another type of battle called the dragon battle, which is going to be some kind of monster or alien creature, and that's going to represent just fear in general, just a force that you haven't experienced before, and now have to deal with.
Right.
And so basically, after each battle, information or treasure is granted, and allies are added or lost at this point. So, like in Lord of the Rings, where they had that battle with the ogres, and then the dude, I can't remember his fucking name, Sean Bean, died, of course.
Sean Bean.
He was, where he died in that first battle, and because he was trying to protect Frodo from the orgs or whatever, the crazy big org with the thing on his head. Or I'm thinking like Final Fantasy, where you meet Aerith, and she's added for as long as she can add.
Right.
And that gains to your pool of resources as far as the quest goes. And so there's going to be trials, there's going to be stuff going on. And then we move on to the meeting of the goddess. And
Yeah.
When I say that, that's the second part of the initiation. You meet with a goddess. And when I was reading this, I put a little note that said, why goddess? Like, why is it a goddess?
Well, you've now been introduced to, you've been awakened and you've been introduced to this great evil, and the journey's laid out for you. They need to give you, I guess it's another person to help you along the way. I mean, it's another resource in a way through knowledge, power, or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, you're being brought face to face with like a physical representation, well, not even necessarily physical, but a representation of the greater, the biggest power that represents the greater good.
I mean, you're right on all levels, but I'm asking, why is it female? Is what I'm really asking. Why is that? Why does it have to be a goddess? Why can't it be God? Why is it a goddess specifically?
Oh, I don't know. I kind of glossed over that. Because games and stories need more sex appeal? I don't know. No. But, I mean, think about it, like, more... In the whole, the hero is mostly male. I mean, there are female heroes. Don't get me wrong. There is a role reversal if if the hero is a female, if there's a heroine, not a hero. But okay.
But why does it have to be? Let me put it this way: let's say we're playing Tomb Raider, and Lara Croft comes up to a god. Why is it the opposite sex of her?
I honestly never put any thought into that.
Or if it's a male, why is it a goddess that's the opposite sex?
I don't know. Sex appeal is the only thing I can come up with.
So basically, it's because there needs to be a bonding of male and female, of masculine and feminine, and it's a matter of combining. If like in Zelda, when the hero is the male, he needs another he needs another form that represents the other side. So if the hero is the male, he's strong, courageous, fighting, like powerful. He needs the other half to meet him to create the whole. So it needs to be a female because it's the psyche, it's the soul, it's the nurturing, it's the creating, it's the bonding of an entire person.
So it's
you have
balance. You're just looking for balance.
Balance, but yes, but from something that the male can't get without the female. Like the man is strong and does this, but the female is nurturing and soothing, or vice versa. The female is strong, happens to be strong, but she needs the male to. It's an idea devised by Carl Jung, who said that it's called the Syzygy, Syzygy, S-Y-Z-Y-G-Y. It's called the divine coupling or the sacred marriage, and you need to find this other part of you to combine with to make the actual totality of the hero. Okay. So the hero is, my notes say, meet a powerful figure a female figure that will unite and bonding, make that will create this hero to be supernatural or extraordinary. It's the idea of Carl Jung, and he had the anima. The anima is what the male hero is looking for. It can. And in the animus, if the female is looking, if it's a role for the female, she's looking for the animus. and it indicates the unconditional love of the being.
Right.
So, like in Zelda, like he meets up with Sheikah or Impa or Saria or Princess Zora, that he meets these powerful women who become godlike, or even the fairies, the great fairies,
right,
that bestow him power, but without their love and strength, he wouldn't be able to do his duty.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like it's the other half, as far as like you have the emotional, physical, psychological traits that I don't, and with our powers combined, I am Captain Planet, that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't be? I mean, Captain Planet wouldn't be Captain Planet without the heart and the monkey guy.
Right. I mean, Captain Planet does have a baboon heart, but that's neither here nor there.
It's canon. It's canon. Like it's
in
the
totally
show.
Canon.
Look it up. Look it up if you don't believe it.
I'm emailing the creator right now.
Absolutely, you should twice. And so this Saizaiji is or basically soulmate, is a theory from Carl Jung, who I mentioned earlier.
Right.
And he had a couple of archetypes that I kind of want to flow through, because we're going to get into a lot of the themes of archetypes. So he had an idea of family archetypes. So the father is going to be stern and powerful and controlling. The mother is going to be nurturing, soothing, and feeding. Mm-hmm. And then the child will be birth, beginnings, and salvation. Which is, I mean, kind of typical. If you, I don't know.
I mean, that's stereotypical family structure. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's. But this dude wrote this in like 1930, so.
Yeah,
argue it if you will,
norm.
but this is this guy wrote the social norm. Right. And so he said, for story archetype. Say what?
I mean, he observed it and reported it and discussed it.
So for story archetypes, there's going to be the hero,
okay,
who's going to resemble a rescuer or a champion. There's going to be the maiden, who represents a desire or piety or desire. There's going to be them goods. Late, my bad. There's going to be a wise old man who is going to give knowledge or guidance.
And candy.
There's going to be and candy to get in my rig band. There's going to be the Earth Mother that represents nature. There's going to be a witch or a sorcerer that represents sorceress. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's danger all day. Danger, stranger.
Yes.
And then there's going to be a trickster, which is deceiving or hidden. And oddly enough, he went into animal archetypes. And there's the dog, which represents unquestioning loyalty.
Right.
Yeah, like they do. A horse, which represents true determination.
And massive dongs.
And big old dongs. Thank you, Catherine the Great. For making that lever and the fucking horse. And then there's cats that are self-serving.
Yeah.
Because fucking cats don't give a shit about anybody.
Right. Cats are assholes.
They are assholes. And they lick their own, which is kind of...
I mean, I feel like that's most animals in general.
But I'm jealous because of it. I live my own crotch every now and again.
You'd never leave the fucking house. You done jerking off now?
Huh? No. I mean, I've been doing it slowly this whole time. I thought that was the whole point of doing this.
Oh, I mean, yeah. The point is that we edge it out.
You don't have your dick out? What the fuck, dude?
No, the whole point was to edge it out until.
Until the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen, and as soon as I hit stop on the recording, that's when we blow our loads.
Well,
because we can't give people our O sounds right off the bat. They have to earn that shit.
No,
by listening through a couple of shitty episodes while we figure out our format. And their reward is that they get to hear us come. They don't get to see it. They just get to hear it. That's it.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, I thought that was our premise, wasn't it? Like that was like our general agreement. Was the well, why wouldn't we? Stupid to not. That's the fuck. Why even bother, Andrew? Why even bother?
Well, yeah, and then if you make it through like even more shitty episodes, eventually you get to our vinegar strokes. We'll just videotape that.
There you go.
But we have to do it together, facing each other.
What if we do like a Dutch rudder?
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm holding my dick, you just move my shoulder.
So yeah,
okay.
That's who we are. Welcome to
whatever the fuck this is called.
Two Boys, One Podcast.
All right.
I don't know. That was yeah.
It rolls off the tongue.
We'll figure out a title when the time is right.
Okay.
As soon as I edit this and put it up on the internet somewhere, Sad Panda presents Two Boys. One Podcast.
What was the Sexual Harassment Panda presents? I delve into psychology. It's all about identity crisis and shit. Okay. Back on track. Alright. So this...
Okay.
I don't remember her fucking name.
Yeah,
or link meaning any fucking person. Chica, Impa, Saria,
right.
Sora, whatever. Whatever kind of divine force.
Janae.
Yep. Okay. So... we move on to stage 3 of the initiation. That is the woman as a temptress. This is Joseph Campbell, not me. So basically someone, usually a woman, is going to tempt the hero.
Right.
It's going to be, some kind of, like when Galadriel sees the ring from Frodo, she freaks the fuck out. And he's like, I'm gonna give it to you. And she's like, whoa, don't give me that power. Ah!
Yeah.
She gets all crazy. But it's gonna be some kind of temptation as a whole. It's gonna give the hero short-term gratification, but it's gonna, it's gonna ruin the mission and then further prove that the hero is unworthy of the title of being a hero.
Okay.
By taking that, you're going to ruin the whole journey, the whole thing, and it's kind of it's a test of will.
Right.
Can this person be tempted? And if he is tempted, he is not. Yeah.
Well, the test of will came earlier on, and this is more a morality test. Is your spirit actually deserving of being the hero spirit? Because a hero wouldn't give in to a temptation. So it's, I mean, in a way, yeah, it's another test of will, but I think this one incorporates more morality from the hero, as where the last one was like, are you willing to fucking like risk your life and shit to go on this journey? Are you willing to give up everything? Like, is this is a commitment of your will to the journey? And the second test is more like, you sure you're not evil, right? Because, you know, you could just be evil and we could end this shit right here. Join me in the dark side. And
exactly. That's exactly what it is. Good call. Good call. You're exactly right. And it's it's funny that I found it odd that that you meet with a goddess and then the next step is being tempted by a woman.
Right.
So, like, you meet the other half of your soul, if you will, and then you get tempted by that half as well. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's like another weird, I don't know. Like you said, it's a temptation, but I feel like when you meet the goddess, you understand the other side of your soul, and then with that discovery of the other side, you get tempted again by that new discovery of this other side.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
All right.
You know what I mean?
So it's kind of like, I mean, you know, you've had your own personal demons the entire time, but this is when they come full frontal nudity in your face, swinging their big old dick.
Oh, just slapping it on your forehead.
Like, listen, this is the evil inside of you, and this forehead dick slapping I'm giving you is what you really want to do to the rest of this journey, and tell it to fuck off, and let's just come on its face and walk out the door without paying.
Yeah. That was a lot of things. That was a lot of things you said there, Did you commit a crime?
No. I just.
It sounds. Oh, did you?
No. We're good.
You got real specific, and you weren't really looking at me when you said it. You were kind of looking away, and I don't know.
Oh, I didn't realize you were watching me. I honestly had no idea you were watching me, because I don't see you. So I just figured you had your phone set down.
Oh, no. You look like OJ. Like, well, you know, I didn't kill her, but if I did kill her, this is how I do it. I cream up, and I stalk her for like 2 weeks, and then I get in the Bronco, and then that motherfucker show up. I stab his ass in the driveway.
All right. Well, if when I'm listening to this, if there's anything terribly self-incriminating of a crime that I didn't commit, then I guess I'll cut it out. But
that you didn't commit, air quotes. Because OJ didn't kill that bitch either.
I mean...
Moving on. I hate the word. Shit. Moving on. So stage 4 is going to be the atonement of the father. And so our hero has to be a father figure, by either persuasion or approval or physical. The father has to be, his approval has to be granted in some way. And the relationship of the father must be resolved or reconciled in some kind of way. And the idea is that it doesn't have to be exactly a father, the hero's father, but it has to be a person of high authority that the child version of this hero either fears or adores.
Okay.
And or it doesn't have to be an actual person. It could be like a concept that acts as a, directive of the hero. So it's this idea of overwhelming authority and power that he has to address and conquer.
Okay.
So that's literally Link and Luke. Oh my God, literally Luke meeting his father and fighting his father. And so let's see. So the father represents power, or the ultimate power, and if that can be taken, the hero becomes omnipotent. So once you beat this person that has like this amazing control, then you become
the god, because
the new father,
the missing piece of you. Yeah.
Like so yeah. This is taking the apple. This is you becoming unto a god.
Right.
Like this. You're trying to defeat the biggest power in your own life and transcend, and then later transcend. But however, it says, with women, they compete for attention of the father from their mother, while resisting the taboo of incest. So, if the heroine I feel like in video games and whatnot, whether you're male or female is kind of androgynous.
Well, this ties right back into the test, the morality test, but it's now that you've decided you're going to take the high path, the challenging path, you have to now defeat this temptation in its ultimate form. Well, you have to defeat the dark part of the world, the dark part of you, the dark part of whatever's dooming. That's when it becomes kind of right up in your face, and you have to, I get. You're also.
No, I think you're missing the idea. I think, no, man, this is all about power, man. Like, this is meeting the thing that scares you the most. Like, this is your boogeyman. This is your fucking Darth Vader. This is your fucking, like, this is the power. This is like this is little kid Link meeting Ganon on his big ass, black ass fucking steed and shit. Like, this is
so it's the manifestation of this, of
raw power.
Yeah, it's the manifestation of it in a more physical form.
And then by defeating it, you take that power.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so this is going to be a big, scary fucking thing. Like when Balrog showed up. And fucking what's his goddamn Gandalf. So when like Balrog shows up and they're trying to cross that little bridge, and Gandalf fucking, you shall not pass, and then fucking stabs him in the ground, and he ends up fighting him. That's what that is. Like, fuck you, I'm gonna fucking take this giant monster down. Like, 'cause it's scary as shit. And then that leads into the next point, is what I'm saying. But you've got to take the power for yourself. You've got to fight this giant monster,
right?
And claim that power for you. You got to take it from them and put it into your heart,
right? Or
into your soul, spirit, whatever it may be. So this is like, it's like Ganon fighting Balrog. Like, he's like, fuck you.
That whole idea means slightly different things in different universes. But again, it's the manifestation of the ultimate evil. It's it leads into what ends up being the final battle, and it's, I don't know.
Yeah, It's just this is like the emboldening stage.
Right.
Like, this is where the hero really becomes the fucking hero.
0 to hero, just like that.
This is where Link gets the Master Sword. This
Right.
is where, you know what I mean? Like, we're halfway through, but the whole idea is that there's a great power that needs to be taken from some kind of authority figure.
Right.
And given to our hero so he can put it in himself and then become damn near godlike. Yeah. Right. I like it when you put it in yourself. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy to see. Anyway, so basically, when the hero bests the father, he becomes the father. He's now the new patriarch, and he can now create his own destiny. He is now the powerful one. He is now the one who has the authority, the power to do what it takes to create his own journey. To move on.
Create his own journey with the ultimate goal of fulfilling your destiny and saving the world. Because this is...
Yeah, because up until this point...
Because this is the challenge, this is the task you've accepted. But I mean, again, it means different things in different universes. Like, but boiling it all down, this is the granting of ultimate power. After, this most recent test, whether it's physical, psychological, what have you.
Yeah. Do you have the fortitude to resist the urge of temptation? And then, do you have the ability to be granted by some kind of high authority figure to actually have the power to finish the journey? Do you have that? Do you have the ganas? Do you have the fucking will? The balls, man.
Yeah. So it's another test. I mean, this is a series of tests that you get to until the final test. The final solution and all that.
For sure. But this is you taking it for yourself. It's not somebody trying to take something from you or whatever, but this is you actually taking the keys to the kingdom and holding them and moving forward.
Right, it's Constitution.
That's exactly.
I mean, we had willpower, morality, and now we have Constitution. Yeah,
exactly. And then, which leads us to the fifth point, which is the hypothesis, and that is the transcendence into a higher place. So the hero is understanding, this greater understanding is achieved. We get new knowledge and we get new perception. We may get a change in appearance or shape or form or whatever. This is where Gandalf beats Balrog and becomes not Gandalf the Grey, but Gandalf the White.
Right.
He is transcended into a higher level, into a perfection or nirvana.
Yeah, we're full on.
We're full on game mode. Like, we're God mode, dog.
Right.
We're making this happen. This is like Vegeta beating turning fucking Super Saiyan. Like, that is the literal, that's the thing in my notes, is what, like, he literally changes form. Like, he's dark haired, dark eyed, and then freezes fucking him up until he transcends into this higher plane and he goes Super Saiyan. Now he's got blonde hair and his shit's all up in the air, and
this isn't even my final form, bro.
This isn't even my final form.
He goes full on Aryan. He goes from Japanese to German.
This isn't my final form. Son of a bitch. So basically, the idea is that this person dies without dying and has a rebirth in themselves to be the true hero of our story.
Right.
He's now the hero. Like, he was the hero before, but now he is the hero. So he's ready to self-sacrifice. He's ready to fucking put his dick on the table and, like, fuck it. If I die, I die. But I'm going to, I'm going to Mount Doom. I'm going to whatever. Like, I'm gonna meet Ganon. I'm gonna kill that motherfucker if need be. I'm gonna, whatever it may be. But he is going to actually overcome and become the truest hero in the sense of the word.
Right.
And so, and with that, he's going to be willing to, he's going to be able to self-sacrifice if need be, and he's ready to go into the final battle with he's ready to go. He's ready to go. I'm ready to do this. I got all my shit. I'm ready to go. I got them light arrows. I'm ready to kill Ganon.
Goddamn light arrows are essential. Gots to have them.
They are a necessity.
Gots to have them.
Moving on to the ultimate boon. Okay. After all that bullshit, the goal is achieved. The villain is defeated, and this is the basic climax of the story. Right. So whatever treasure, whatever treasure you're looking for, whatever you're looking for, that's what happens.
Peace
the bad guy, yeah. Well, yeah.
Through violence.
We'll get there.
Obtained through violence.
Yeah, absolutely. Peace through violence.
I will teach them my peaceful ways through force.
Through force. So that's the hero wins, the good guy bad guy dies, good guy wins, blah 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 blah. So and after that happens, we have the third part, and that's going to be the return. And in the first part of the return, it's the refusal to return. So now that the goal is completed, the hero wants to stay there. He's found bliss, enlightenment, and returning to normal life seems like unacceptable. Like, right. It's so mundane. Like, he wants to ride that adventure high, so he doesn't want to go back. So he wants to stay in the moment. Like,
Ride that white tiger, chase that dragon.
Absolutely. I thought you said something about hentai, but
no. We're not.
They said,
we're
love
not
that
yet.
hentai. I was like, wait, what? Okay,
no, we're not there yet.
I mean, well, not saying I don't, but
never mind.
I mean, tentacle porn always wins on Cards Against Humanity. You know that card.
There's, I learned something new about tentacle porn recently. Well, I was listening to. God damn it! I learned this from listening to a podcast. But in Japan, porn laws are all weird, right? And
okay.
So, like, for instance, you can't show pubic hair. They censor that out. And you can't show, like, I think it's the act of, like, penetration. But you end up with, like, this bullshit censoring and shit like that. Well, and in, like, their drawn porn, or I guess animated porn,
hentai.
Whatever it is, hentai. So in all of that, you end up with, like, I don't know if you've ever seen the type of censoring where they end up have, like, black bars and shit across stuff, like across.
I've watched porn. Yeah, I know.
So one way to get around that was tentacles. And
that's where that originated.
This also became a thing with, like, export control. They had to censor, like, penetration and shit like that, but only if it was a penis entering you. So when they put tentacles in it, they're like, well, it's not, sex between two people.
It's penis for white, but
just,
it's not exactly.
Yeah, but
penis.
For some reason, that was how they were able to get around censorship. And so that's a lot of what got exported as well. Somehow, these fucking artists are like, hey, I mean, this doesn't technically qualify for what you're censoring, so you shouldn't censor it. And they got it through. And so that's why a lot of what became, especially initially, what Americans think of, or what people outside of Japan think of as hentai, that's why a lot of them automatically go to tentacle porn. Because that was the stuff that they were able to get out uncensored. So it became popular. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why tentacle porn is such a thing.
That's the origin of tentacle porn? Yeah. I'm very interested. Go on.
I'm watering it down from what I heard, because I heard him on a podcast, and one of the broads on it was from Japan and explained the full history of
tentacle porn.
And I thought that was fucking hilarious. It was amazing.
That's legit as fuck. Like, I did not know that. Because, you watch porn, you see the Asian stuff, and all this shit is blurred out.
Yeah,
it's fucking bullshit. Like, they're blowing a weird pixelized blob.
Yeah, it's retarded. It's fucking porn. It's
porn.
Why? What?
I don't know, man. It's weird.
It'd be like it. I mean, I've never gone to a porn theater or anything like that. Well, I guess if I've ever watched a movie in theaters, they don't really, do they censor anything? I don't think so, right? They make the rating appropriate to what's...
Oh, in like a movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, they don't do that. Like,
no,
you
but
see titties, dick, and all that stuff, but there's no actual penetration.
Of course, they set the ratings that's appropriate to the content, right? So, but they don't actually censor anything. So you get all the way up to like NC-17, and then X is porn.
Yeah.
But it's not ever censored, so I don't understand why Japan felt they needed to censor things in the first place. In porn, of all things. Like, that's going to get a strictly adults only rating no matter what. Why are you adding censoring? I don't know. But it's all about being like, I guess Japanese culture is all about being proper and shit. And a country so proper should not export uncensored porn. Fucking retarded. But yeah,
I don't know.
Led to the origin of hentai. So
there you go.
Or not hentai, but tentacle porn. That's what I meant.
Well, yeah. Okay, moving on to number 2. Shit. Thanks for that weird segue. We go to the Magic Flight, and that's basically just a mad dash home.
Okay.
There's got to be the hero's gonna rush the fuck home, with or without the object, depending on the story. But he's gonna frantically go home for just the sense of for the fear of being caught. And basically for the hope for escape or salvation. He just wants to get the fuck out of this situation. Fuck this. I'm done with this shit. I want to get the fuck home. I want to sleep in my bed. I don't want to deal with this bullshit. I want to get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Okay. And then number 3, it's going to be the rescue from without. That is the rescued, it's going to be, the hero has to be rescued from another source. So think like, I Han Solo flying in on the Millennium Falcon and shooting all the people off of Luke, and so he can shoot the damn thing. He can shoot the use the Force, Luke, and he
right. So he can bomb that exhaust port.
Yeah, exactly. Just
shove it down that exhaust port.
Yeah, shove it in there. Shove it in there deep
inside, all the way to the core.
Or like the Eagles picking up Frodo from Mount Doom when they're just exhausted, and why the fuck didn't the Eagles just take him there in the first place? Gotta talk about that for a minute.
Because that would defeat the purpose of telling this epic tale.
I think the Eagles are just assholes.
There's no epic tale if the Eagles just take them straight there.
They have epic tails. They're giant eagles. They have giant epic tails. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Swiggity swooty.
What the fuck?
Epic tail.
So basically, the bonds that are created along the way with others are called upon to return the hero to safety.
Right.
And then we move on to number 4, which is crossing the return threshold. So now, when I talked about the other world, like going into the other world earlier,
right.
This is now him returning from that other world to his own world. So you're going from Kid Link to Adult Link.
Yeah, you're growing up on your own. You're coming out of hell. The world is going back from this
weird state into
evil,
normality.
ghastly reality to this one of pleasantness and good shit happens and bad shit doesn't happen anymore. And
we're returning to normality to where he has to go back into his humdrum life of whatever the fuck, going back to the farm or whatever the fuck. But
and even in a normal life though, like this humdrum life, chickens are still assholes. Cuckoos, my bad, not chickens.
Are always fucking assholes. Fuck those motherfuckers.
Yes, they are.
Fuck those. Yeah, for sure. Fuck chickens. I mean, don't fuck chickens, but fuck chickens.
I mean, you can fuck them, but only if that's the one you're going to eat that night, because it's going to die.
Probably. I mean, I guess. I don't know. This sounds like experience.
I mean, the one
unless you have a bookmobile and you're in South Park. Sure. Sure. So basically, this symbolizes the rebirth back into the homeworld. So you had a rebirth into this strange land, a rebirth into becoming godlike, and then you have to be born again into your homeworld as this god. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now you're this godlike person who has to reform into society. It's like being in prison. You gotta readjust to society.
Yeah, you can't be ready to shank someone at all
times.
Yeah,
you can't just stab somebody in the fucking face for eating your pudding or some shit like that or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know.
Granted, if you act that way in prison, you're not ever going to get out of prison.
We move on.
You're in limbo, I guess. But it's called prison. You shank somebody over
for pudding. Okay, so we move on to
Harley Quinn would bust you out of jail for stabbing someone for trying to take your pudding.
Oh, that's true. Oh, good call. Nice. I like that joke. Do you think of that? Do you think that on your own? Is that an Andrew original?
Yeah, kiss my ass.
That was a good one. I appreciate that kind of shit when I'm trying to move on to the next section.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So, move on to the 5th one. which is the master of two worlds. The hero can now transcend both worlds without any conflict. He can now go from the light and dark world, like in Link to the Past. He can go back and forth and not have to deal with some kind of demon or god or whatever that stops him from transcending to world A to world B. Blah 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 blah. The hero is now the master of himself and the outer world. When they say that, they mean he's now the master of himself, and now the master of the world he sees. So he's not only strong within himself, he now can control the outer world, because he's so emblazoned with this power that he now controls himself and the world around him.
Right. Just like when you came out of the closet.
Exactly. I had chased my bliss, dog, which is a Joseph Campbell thing.
And cock.
Which is actually what Joseph Campbell said. That's a thing from him, is chase your bliss.
Dog.
Like that's a hymn. That's an OG Campbell. I forgot to bring that up earlier, but that is totally him.
Okay. This is you fulfilling your destiny.
Like, yeah, I mean, no, the shit's done, but now you have to come back home, and you just have this sense of power, and that you can control your fate.
Right, but the coming back home is part of your destiny, because it's like you've overcome this great task, you've accomplished this great thing, and now it's like you return to normal life so that you don't become the thing that needs to be overcome. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's your final test. Can you let this shit go now? Like, can you let the world be, instead of like, being like, well, I've defeated this one great evil, let me move on to the next great evil. I mean, granted, that's sequels. That's sequels. Or that's the rebirth or reincarnation of the hero spirit after the rebirth of evil or whatever. But, like, part of the coming back home is, can you live with this power without being succumb to what is the temptation of using this power constantly for the rest of your life?
Dembski, I love where your mind's at, but you're jumping the gun just a hair.
Oh,
this is about the self. This is about the person, the
it's
hero.
all about the self. I mean,
well, obviously, but just the master of two worlds. He now has the ability he has the control of his spirit and his outer body, and can now control the world around him.
Right.
He controls himself and the world around him.
Right.
Which leads us to the final part, which is the freedom to live.
Right.
So now he can do anything. He can rule. He can rule a country. He can teach. He can settle down and have a family. You know what I mean? Like, he can. This is the final. What you were saying, like, does he have the ability to? Well, he could be. That's his freedom. He could be the next, great scourge on the earth, if that's what he chooses to do with this power that he has now.
I mean, that's not a setup we see, or an ending, I should say, we see very often, unless it's a very clearly defined, I don't know, sequel setup or something like that. But even then, usually the hero remains the same and remains the hero role. But it is the final test of, are you the hero? You finally defeated all this evil. Like, motherfucker, best not become...
What are you going to do with all this power? Yeah.
Right. Best not become evil yourself, or else, this goddess will find another hero, and you will be defeated, because that's the downfall.
Well, I mean that would set up like an infinity loop, to where like a new person comes into the old person and just goes on into infinity.
Right. I mean, it's not a concept that's never been done before. It's just it's rare.
It's tedious.
Right.
Isn't it?
Right.
It makes the story tedious and kind of, I don't know.
Well, it's also easier to keep the hero the same. Just
good.
Well, to keep them good, but I mean, like, it's easier to keep the same hero than it is to evolve that hero into some kind of evil after all these trials and tribulations that proved how good this hero actually is, to suddenly turn bad after the gaining of power. It's pretty rare because, well, you've just proven you have lived up to this archetype, so why would you all of a sudden turn a 180? But at the same time, it's also easier to write, because then you have to excuse the total 180 somehow. You have to figure out, well, they just, you have to contradict everything you just did.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not saying it's never been done before. It's just pretty rare and more difficult to write for, I would imagine. I'm not a writer, so I don't know. Sure. I can't really speak to that, but
this freedom to live, it's basically represents the escape from fear or hope or anxiety or any other emotion that distracts the hero. Like, so it's the escape of pretty much any emotion that would make you anxious or fucking angry or hopeful. It's just you now have the ability to just live and do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
And hopefully you use it for good, because you went through fought all these bad things. Hopefully you're not an asshole and just do bad things after that.
Right. And again, well, not again, I guess also is the better word. Separation from the good-evil complex as well, and going back to just Frank from down the street.
Yeah, exactly.
So, there's all kinds.
Yeah, and that's the hero's journey.
That it is. Is that?
So hopefully that would. What's up?
Okay. Yeah. So I think is that a good wrapping up point as far as like that's the hero's journey? Or do we have final thoughts about this?
That's what I'm asking you. That's what I was getting into.
Well, it makes a good story. I mean, it's something we see a lot of because it's what human nature aspires to be, in a way. Like, everybody wants to be the hero. Everybody wants to envision themselves as the hero, as the godlike. The idea that humans and gods and heroes and myths all share a humanoid form. All these people in these tales generally share the humanoid form because that's what we aspire ourselves as people to be. So those are the stories that we want to hear. Those are the stories that we want to participate in. And again, that's a gross generalization, but that's, I guess, kind of how I see the hero's journey being formed in the first place. Like, how humans have replicated this story archetype loosely following these steps and not even realizing it.
Well, yeah. I mean, this has been throughout history. Like,
Right.
this has been literally done since, storytelling has been around. Since
Right.
mythology itself. Like, this
Right.
is the idea.
Because that's what humans want themselves to be. We want to be gods that in some way improve the world for not only ourselves but the betterment of all. It's what we aspire to be. So that's how we write our tales. We write our stories. We write our mythology. We write our adventures about the things we aspire to be, whether we are or not. I mean, I'm not going to go fucking slay a dragon and climb a tower and kiss some broad and live happily ever after. It's not going to happen. But it's the tale we write because it's an exaggeration of what I feel I am at my best and what I want to do metaphorically with my life is overcome all the hardship and live happily ever after and all that jazz. Am I on the right track?
Well, that's kind of what yeah, exactly. I mean, this is what we look up to embolden ourselves.
Right.
We look up to these heroes because they do all these things. But the real question is, where are you on this? Where are you on this journey? Like, where is your life on this journey? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah. Well,
I'd like for people to think about that. Just where are you going and where are you at this moment? As far as this goes,
I'm at the stage of walking into hell. Let's get into shit because I moved fucking 16 hours away. Like, I walked into the belly of the beast, and now it's time to fucking turn this into a fucking job, a way to make a lot of money and fuck life. You know what I mean?
I do. I know you, but I know you personally. I'm just saying. I'm asking as a hypothetical to listeners, like where are you in this story, and what do you want to happen? And the idea is that
I stepped into
this
hell
happens to the heroes
by moving away, and I accepted a new career, and I hope it's a happy battle. But the end result is butt fuck life.
There you go. Butt fuck life.
Before it butt fucks me.
Yeah.
So, what about you? Where are you?
Where am I? I don't know. I really couldn't tell you right now. I feel like I'm in the road of trials still. Like, I'm still battling things and trying to get life right. Like, I'm still gathering pieces and stuff like that to live a happy life. Or I mean, I haven't reached...
You're gathering resources. Have you met your evil? Have you met your Ganon yet? Have you had that moment?
No.
Okay.
I haven't. Yeah, no, I still, like I said, I'm still in the trials. Like, I'm still trying to battle everything out to make it work, and I haven't quite transcended yet. I'm still working through it all.
All right.
And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Just
all right.
Battling shit out, trying to make it all work. Still need tools and resources and people to help me, because I'm not quite there yet.
Well, I'm always here for you.
Oh, I of course.
And my penis is at your service.
Absolutely. But, I mean, honestly, I jumped the gun, I opened my own business, and that scared the shit out of me. Yeah. I lost fiance because of it, but I'm not going to rescind on what I do.
Right.
So there's that. That's the pilot episode.
Music credit to bensound.com.